happened on a Tuesday, the kind of rainy day that makes you think the world is trying to wash itself clean. I was sitting in a small cafe by the sea, watching drops slide down the window, tracing invisible roads between strangers. That's when she walked in. No umbrella, no rush, just calm. Her hair was wet, her sweater clung to her shoulders, and for a moment, everything else, the noise, the coffee machine, even my heartbeat, faded. She smiled at the waiter, asked for tea, and took the seat across from me because the place was full. I looked up from my book, pretending not to notice, but every nerve in my body did. "Mind if I sit here?" she asked. Her voice was low, gentle, like she'd spoken to me before, in some dream I'd already forgotten. I nodded, unable to form words. For a while, we just sat there in silence. The rain did all the talking, tapping against the glass like it was writing something only we could understand. Then she laughed, quietly, like she didn't mean to, and said, "You look like someone who's waiting for something important." "Maybe I am," I replied. "Maybe I just don't know what it is yet." She looked at me then, really looked, not with curiosity, but with recognition. And for the first time in a very long time, I didn't feel like a stranger to the world. Time became softer, slower. Her hands wrapped around the teacup, steam rising between us like a secret. I didn't even ask her name until she was leaving. "Wait," I said as she stood up. She turned, hair falling across her face, raincoat in hand. "What's your name?" "Clara." She smiled. "But maybe it's better if you just remember me like this. The girl from the rain." Then she was gone. The door chimed once and I sat there with her unfinished cup of tea. Wondering if fate sometimes chooses moments instead of people, weeks passed. Every afternoon I went back to that cafe, pretending it was for the coffee. But really, I was just chasing the echo of her voice. Sometimes I'd catch myself watching the door, waiting for it to open with the same soft chime. But it never did. Until one evening, just as the sky began to turn silver, I heard that familiar sound, the one I had replayed in my mind 100 times. She was there, Clara. Same calm eyes, same warmth. Only this time, she didn't look like a stranger. "I thought you'd forgotten me," she said. "I tried," I replied. "Didn't work." We laughed, but beneath the laughter something deeper moved, relief, recognition, something that had waited quietly between raindrops. She sat across from me again. Same table, same seats, like the universe had simply pressed play after a long pause. We talked for hours, about music, about cities we'd never been to, about how people find each other when they're not looking. At one point, she reached for her cup, and our hands brushed, a tiny electric spark that felt like the truth I'd been running from. The rain outside slowed to a whisper. She looked at me and said, "Maybe this time you don't let me walk away." And I didn't. We stepped out into the night together, the air heavy with the smell of rain and something new, something alive. The streets were wet, reflecting the glow of the city lights like scattered stars beneath our feet. Her hand found mine without asking. And in that quiet, shimmering moment, I realized, love doesn't always arrive like a storm. Sometimes it waits for you under the same roof, on a random Tuesday, when the rain decides to stop.